Hello everyone, it's Andrew. I think we've got quite a bit to share today. We've made some significant changes to this menu to be able to select spells. We've done things with new characters, new stages, new spells entirely. Let's go through all these. So actually, today we're going to start with the game view. And before we had characters and the inventory um, was able to equip things. Like so, for instance, let's say I didn't want a chest and I did want shoes instead. I would be able to do that, and it would remove that from your inventory, add it from your inventory if you unequip it. But now that actually reflects into the player's statistics, and those are loaded dynamically. It's also flowing into each level. I need to change that size. So in addition to that, I also thought it would be helpful to be able to equip spells. So if we go into, let's say, our ghost character and look at the spells, we've got a list of spells here, and this is every spell in the game currently. Ideally, we would have these these buttons that don't do anything actually do something to filter the spells down by the I guess we're going to call them spell affinities or spell schools. So those would be something like, just to give a small preview, I can't find my notes on it. We've got, here we go. So something like ailment and dark summon or infernal. We'd have like earth and heal, light magic, light summoning, and this over here would be elemental. So eventually you'll have spells of each of those types, and you'd be able to see. So for the ghost character, I think by default I would probably have him be a dark aligned character. So if I were to click like the dark one or the arcane looking button, then it would only show things like the dark spell. And I would actually think that's the only thing we have that's, or sorry, Dark Blast is the only thing we have that would be relevant to him. We'd also have a static object, which would be like, for him it would be the blade swing. For the skeleton, you would see the sword thrust. So everybody's going to have their 0 mana point invested basic attacks that do kind of like your very standard minimal damage. So yeah, that's kind of where I want to go with that. And so yeah, so you're able to come in here and say, this is kind of like your loadout, right? Right now I've got these 4 spells. If I wanted to change something, let's say I wanted to make my first slot be my scythe attack, I would then just select my first slot, select that one, and then that equips it to my character. So now that I have 2 of those, I don't really want 2 of those because it doesn't give me any benefit of diversity, so I'll make that my lightning orb. Next, I really like, I still like these spells both. Let me just change this one to, I don't know, just like the paladin attack, and I'll change it back to the poison meteors. So it's supposed to deselect. These are, when you make a change, it's actually changing it to your character object. So when you go and start a stage, it would start with that loadout essentially in place. Another thing here is that this menu, it's dynamically populated based on the spells that you have in the system. So we've given a name for everything, a small description. I'd like to be able to add the mana points required, and I'm not sure where I want to go with the buttons for upgrading here yet, because I almost want to make tiers to spells, but then that's probably something I'll do much later, after we figure more of like a level up type system. So let's say that we like this loadout and we can close this. Actually going here back to the equipment, the rune menu doesn't work. That's where those affinities would come in for what you have unlocked and how to unlock other ones. So if we look at something like the boots, right? The boots, they can give you 1 movement. They can give you the ability to move one more space, one more, I don't know, some unit of measure. And right now the DP cost, or the dungeon point cost, is 11. So if I were to deselect that, it would move my cost down to 10. So every item that you equip has a cost of usage, right? So if you have a naked character, right, you have no items on your character, you're gonna not be so defensive. You can't move more than the default, but you can put more of that character out there. It's a balance of the strategy you think that you need for your stage, right? So let's at least just give him a sword and probably a pair of shoes. These honestly, these items don't do anything yet, other than HP and MP, and I don't think I have anything that alters either of those yet. So let's stop here for the main menu. The other change that I made was we've got level select, where you can, before it would just go to the lava cave, but now we can go to the lava cave or a new stage that I've called water mechanics for now. So when we click on water mechanics, this is not the right stage. We can fix that. It wouldn't be so hard to fix that. Let's go fix that. So levels, level select to inspector. What do we call the button that does level select for water mechanics? No, that's right. Load level. Load level. Looking at my other screen. 1 second. 1 second. It's taking too long. I'm probably just going to give it up. Actually, I found it. So really quick, changing a variable on the back end, load scene to whatever string I send to the function, save it, load it, play it one more time. Loading, loading. All right, so let's move all this over, level select, water mechanics. So now we've loaded the water level. And this is a fun moment because this entire tile set is different than my previous tile sets. So I've created these items, right? These this layout, right? There's a lot of what I like about it. I've used this in a previous game for a class project where these cubes are animated. There's like this one, there's a lava one, there's like a venom looking one, and I think that might be it. There might be a sand one, I'm not sure. So I've added these. I've kind of sprinkled it with some decorations to make it look pretty good. I've kind of put a bridge that's out of the way. So another thing about this level that I like is that we've implemented a way for characters that can stay on land versus characters that cannot go into water. So if you notice, Mr. Ghost here is floating. I've added a new character to it, that is the fairy character, for a reason that I was mistaken with. The fairy character, obviously it's a flying type of character. I'm going to move my ghost to, let's say if I click the water level here. So he's able to get there. I'm going to end the turn, and I might die as part of this. I don't think I went in and changed my paladin to not be able to enter the water, and that's just a one checkbox type change once that's coded up basically. So let me move my character back to an ordinary spot, and I want to talk about, is that far enough? I want to talk about the projectile. So this is why I put the fairy in place, is because I thought that it was going to be a bow character, and kind of before I got too far in it, I realized that no, there's no bow. It's kind of like a projectile magic missile type of deal. But here's what I'm going to do. So this, if you notice, this entire this spell projector, I've kind of made it skinny to show the direction of which it travels. If I click it again, it sort of fills up, and I really like that. I can change these colors and make it more aligned to the type of magic that you have. Before we had a targets in range text placeholder down here, and now I've changed that to a targeted based on what this is coming in contact with. So right now, if I were to fire the spell off, hopefully it'll collide with our paladin hero, paladin player, and deal damage to him that way. So let's go ahead and do that. Am I okay with doing that? Yeah, let's give it a shot. So it's a 3-part spell. This is probably going to be the same as all projectiles. So you've got a casting, a projectile, and a detonation at the end. So that did a little bit of damage. Right now it's just a very hard set amount of damage. I'm going to end turn, and we can probably do that one more time. I like the ability to sort of snipe a Nope, nope. We ran out of juice for our ghost character. So let's go and load the water mechanics scene again, just directly, and this time we'll play it from just the water stage. So putting him out there, I like these torches. It really gives a nice vibe to the dungeon. Just as well as if you notice, there's more than just the torches, right? There's some falling particles. There is a back plane of space, and there's also a sort of a fog type system below. And I think that this makes it more of a polished look for the overall level. Much more than the lava cave, but I do have some more plans for the lava cave, maybe to change the tile set to something like this, or mix and match, like because I think those tiles that I used previously and the current tiles are the same size, so I should be able to mix and match them. So I've got I'm in the fog now. It's kind of up on the screen. So what I like about this projectile, and let's actually make it a little bit more narrow. So nope, not quite enough to get the distance. Let's do that from about here. So now we've got. I don't want to hit both of them. I still need to find a way to make my projectile deal damage against one character instead of both, because I think that's if you're firing an arrow, you would usually target one character, right? And I think that there's going to be AoE style, like where you do a detonation at the end, but for the projectile attacks with like a single magic missile, I don't think I'd want to deal damage to multiple targets. Let's fire that one off one more time. And it's got like a casting, a projectile, explosion, and the character dies as a result because it only has 15 hit points, and this thing does that amount of hit points. The other thing I've done here, I don't know if I moved it yet. I think I did move. The other thing I've done here is implemented a mana system, which is very comparable to the health system. So maybe he didn't hit me. No, he did hit me. It just didn't do an animation to show that. So what am I trying to say here? The mana's went down, right? So what I want to do is, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, is hit him with the same orb, which has depleted my mana down to the point where I can no longer cast the spell. So I'm going to move to the furthest away spot that I can from him and hope for the best. Oh, that's totally not going to be it. What if I cheese it and when he makes his attack projector, we send it somewhere else? Because I haven't fixed that yet. So now I know that's cheating, and I'm sorry. But the next thing I wanted to show is that the mana is below the necessary limit to be able to cast this specific spell, because I haven't set values on the other ones yet. So I can't select that. I can still select something that I didn't set a spell for. But yeah, so that's a big change. The other change that I don't think I really mentioned, we can go back to the main menu on, is I don't know that I made any changes here. Maybe, yeah, I don't think I did. The other change I wanted to talk about was when you select a character and you add a piece of gear, you're also changing your stats. So I'm thinking that's the next thing, is starting to work on some damage formulas and sort of balancing these out, because if I look at my ghost, he's got like 0 defense and like yeah, he's got the worst amount of damage. There's definitely a balancing act that needs to come in here, and everyone will sort of go with what they're skilled in. So maybe the ghost is a good arcane user of dark magic, with low defense, high damage, but the paladin might be a good character with very high defense and sort of average damage, where the peasant would have like bad stats for both, just because that's the type of character he is. So yeah, I think that covers it. Of course, yeah, it's like I said, it's a big update. I hope that you're finding something useful with following this, and keep in tune for more. I'm not entirely sure what I want to work on next. I've got a lot of very small things that I could do, but I think the other large thing would be making the damage formulas work, setting up a third stage, and sort of getting into a better menu system for level selection, sort of with some rotating stone thing, which there will be more to come on that. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate for you watching this, and let me know your comments, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.